This is my 2021 Cadillac Escalade ESV. I'm going to show you how I hooked up my aftermarket amplifier with the subwoofer. This is going to be pretty much the same if you have an Escalade, Yukon, Tahoe, Suburban, even a Sierra or a Silverado. Any of the full-size GM trucks or SUVs, the process should be just about the same. So the main things you'll need to get is access to the 12 volt, the remote, and the ground. So I'll show you that. You'll also need an audio input to go into the amp. So let's start with the power. On the passenger side of the engine bay, we'll see this cover on the battery. This little tab here, can lift up, and another one over here. Just get this cover off. So with this cover off, we can see where I have my power bolted down to this nut right here, and the power goes down. You can see it right there. There's a rubber grommet that goes inside the cabin of the car. Let's see if I can get you a better look at that. So right there, you can see where I have the power going in. And then we have the fuse on the power wire bolted up. And this is the only connection under the hood. So that's how I ran the power. So I'll show you that inside the car. Just lift up here, get this piece of trim off, and then lift up here. Get that off. So you can see it right there. So the red wire is covered with this kind of black sheathing that came on the power cable, but you can see right there where it goes out the firewall to where we saw it in the engine bay. So ran the wire out. This is it right here. And it just comes down, and I put it goes here, it goes all underneath the trim. The wire goes all underneath here, tucked it down along the side. And in the back, see it coming out here. I drilled a hole here, and I have the power going out into the amp. So that's how I ran the power. And for the ground that I have hooked up here, again, it goes out, and this actually goes around to here. So I ran my ground to the body right here, made sure all of the paint was scraped off and stripped off so it's a good metal contact. So that's my ground. Next is going to be the remote wire. Now you would think I would run it to one of these fuses here where I got the power when the ignition is in the on position, but I couldn't find one. All of these fuses, when I checked, they were constantly hot. So I actually ran the remote wire up here. Take this off. You can see it right here. This goes to my remote. So the fuse that I tapped into is actually F26. F26 is right here, and F26 is USB SEORAP. That's the fuse that I use. This is one of the few fuses that only gets power when the ignition is in the on position. Okay, so I showed you the power, the ground, and the remote. The last thing you need to do is get your audio in, and we have a subwoofer back here on the Escalades. Okay, to get the audio signal, I tapped into these wires right here, which go to the subwoofer. The black and gray wire is going to be the negative. The green and purple wire is the positive. So I tapped into those wires right here. So I ran these wires to one of these converters, which I actually have right here. So this is where I get the audio signal that plugs into the amp. So that goes to this. That's where I got my audio signal in. So that's pretty much it. So there's that, and then that's my positive and negative. That's hooked up to the subwoofers. My amplifier is a Tar Amps Smart 3 bass. My sub enclosure is a MTX Sledgehammer Dual 15. My subwoofers are two Scar SDR 15 dual 4 ohm subwoofers, and I'm running a 4 gauge amplifier wiring kit. I'll have links for everything in the description. If you found that video helpful, be sure to subscribe to the channel, give it a thumbs up, and leave a comment. God bless you all.